Told by Tand, the corn seller at Agbodo Junction. I will never forget that Tuesday morning. The kind that starts hot before the sun even shows its full face. Dust hung in the air like smoke, and my shirt was already sticking to my back before I even roasted the first corn. You see, I've sold roasted corn and coconut for years beside the Agbodo Junction. From there, I've watched people grow, fall, hustle, and disappear. That morning, something strange happened. A crippled old man came crawling down the roadside. He wasn't crawling with his hands and knees, no. He had a wooden board with small rubber wheels under it, and he pushed himself along with both hands. His legs were twisted, one bent sideways and the other short like it didn't grow right. He wore two different slippers and a dirty brown shirt that looked like it hadn't been washed in years. You could smell him even before he reached my stand. It wasn't just body smell, it was also the kind of smell poor people carry when the world has forgotten them. He asked the puff-puff seller, "Auntie Ronk, please, mama, I fit get small water." She looked at him from head to toe and hissed loud. "Go away, Joe. Waitin' be this. I know one loose customer." The man didn't argue. He just turned and wheeled himself toward the gutter, maybe to find rainwater to drink. That thing touched me deep. As he tried to stretch his hand over the small gutter, a loud kikimawa came zooming by and splashed muddy water all over him. He tried to move back quickly, but the board slipped under him, and he fell face flat into the mud. People around just stood there. Some laughed. Some covered their noses. One woman even muttered, "God abeg, make I no end like this." Nobody moved to help. Not one. Then I saw someone push through the small crowd. It was Musa, the young shoemaker who had a wooden table by the next corner. He didn't say a word. He just bent down and lifted the old man up. His hands got covered in mud, but he didn't care. He used part of his shirt to clean the man's face and gave him water from his small sachet. "Papa," Musa said softly, "you no fit stay for road like this. Come my shop small, make you wash body." The old man looked up, surprised. He didn't say anything. Just nodded slowly. As Musa helped him, the conductor passing by shouted, "No poverty day worry am. Them two resemble. One cripple, one shoemaker." People laughed. Musa didn't look back. He walked slowly with the old man, both of them dirty and quiet, heading toward his small wooden shed. That was the beginning. None of us knew what was coming next. Musa's shop wasn't a real shop. It was just a wooden table covered with old sacks and plastic. He had one stool, a broken shoe rack, and a small mirror with a crack. But that place carried more peace than some big buildings. I followed them quietly that day. Not because I was trying to poke nose, but because something told me something deep had just started. Musa helped the old man sit on a low bench beside his work table. He brought a bucket of water, soap, and an old towel. He helped him wash the mud off. Then he gave him his only wrapper to dry himself. I watched all this in silence. Musa didn't ask him where he came from or why he looked like that. He just treated him like a real person. "Papa, you go fit chop?" he asked after the man cleaned up. The old man nodded slowly. Musa reached under his table and brought out bread and beans wrapped in nylon. "I never chop too," Musa said, tearing the bread in half. "Make we share." The man smiled with weak eyes and took it. As they ate, people passed and pointed. One woman said, "This Musa go suffer till he die. He too carry another person matter for head." But I don't know, there was something pure about it. That evening, I closed my corn stand and passed by again. The old man was lying on Musa's extra mat. Musa was fixing a torn school sandal under torchlight. The man turned to me and asked, "That your corn sweet well?" Wetin be your name? Turned, I replied. Good name. You get good eye. You been watch everything. I smiled but felt goosebumps. How did he know I watched? I went home that night thinking of both of them, Musa the poor shoemaker and this strange crippled man. The next day, the whole street was buzzing. You'd think someone won lottery. But no, people were gossiping about Musa. Why he go carry stranger enter shop? That man go be thief we pretend. Them go use for ritual. Even Auntie Ronk, who chased the old man away, said, if that Musa disappear now, make nobody call police But Musa didn't argue with anybody. He came as usual, opened his shed, greeted everyone, and continued working. The old man sat quietly beside him, sipping water and smiling like he knew something we didn't. I passed by and asked Musa, you dey alright? He looked up at me and smiled. Turned, you see that man? I know no but my spirit just no fit leave for road. That answer humbled me. Later that evening, I brought them roasted corn and groundnut. The old man ate slowly, then said, Turned, some things go shock this street soon. I just laughed, but deep down, I believed him. On the fourth day, something happened that made everyone stop and stare. Around noon, a big black van stopped in front of Musa's shed. It had tinted glass and private number plates. Everybody froze. Some people even ran, thinking it was EFCC or police. From the van stepped two men in suits and sunglasses. Then came the shock, out came the crippled old man, clean-shaven, wearing white agbada, walking slowly with a cane. People screamed. Mogby. Now him be this. No be the same man wey dey crawl for ground. Wetin dey happen? The man looked straight at Musa and stretched his hand. Musa, he said, come here. Musa looked confused. He dropped his shoe tools and stepped forward slowly. The old man opened his arms and hugged him. Then he said something that made everybody gasp. This man helped me when I was nothing in your eyes. He gave me water, food, and his only wrapper. Today, I return to give him what his kindness deserves. Right there, in front of the whole street, the old man brought out a key. A shining car key. He pointed to a new black Toyota parked beside the van. This is for you, Musa, he said. This and more. Musa stepped back, thinking it was a prank. His hands were shaking. But the man placed the keys in his palm and said, I own 4 companies. My son abandoned me. My staff pretended to love me. You, poor and tired, saw me as a human. Musa dropped to his knees. The crowd clapped, screamed, shouted. Even those who mocked him earlier tried to hug him. The old man smiled and said, you reminded me that real kindness still lives. He turned to the crowd and added, some of you mocked me. Some hissed. Today, you've seen what money cannot hide. After the shock settled, the old man sat down and told us the full story. His name was Chief Bamadil Adigok, the retired oil tycoon who lived in Lekki. Months ago, he decided to test something. If I lose my money and look like a beggar, will anyone still care? He disguised himself and went from town to town. Everywhere he went, people chased him away, except one place. Agbado. Except one person. Musa. He spent 3 nights watching Musa sleep on the floor while he slept on his mat. He had Musa pray for him at night. He saw him give his last food. So Chief Bamadil made up his mind. He returned home, dressed well, and came back. To reward. To bless. And to teach. From that day, everything changed for Musa. Chief Bamadil paid for him to move into a new apartment. He gave him money to open a real shoe store with glass doors and air conditioning. He even opened a small foundation in Musa's name to help jobless young men learn a trade. Musa didn't forget us. He still came to greet me every week. He even bought me a new corn grill and paid rent for the spot I'd been using free for years. People started behaving better on the street. The Puff Puff woman. She started giving free snacks to hungry children. Conductors stopped mocking the poor. One day, Chief Bamadil returned again, this time to speak to all of us. He stood beside Musa's new shop and said, "What happened here should teach you something. Never judge people by how they look. Never think someone is useless because they are poor or dirty." Then he said this. "If Musa had ignored me like the rest of you, I would have crawled away. But God used him to teach me that even in darkness, there's light." He looked at us one by one. "Next time you see someone begging," he said, "ask yourself, what if this is a test?" Weeks later, I visited Musa's new shop. It was beautiful. The walls were painted. The shoes were displayed in glass cases. There was even a fan blowing non-stop. But when I stepped in, I saw Musa wiping his eyes. "Why you dey cry?" I asked. He smiled and said, "I just dey remember how I been dey sleep on the floor with hunger." Then he added, "You see, this blessing shock me. But more than that, I dey fear make I no ever lose the heart we give me this." That humbled me. Musa wasn't crying because he was sad. He was crying because he still remembered where he came from. Today, I still sell corn under that mango tree. Musa still comes sometimes. He no longer wears torn slippers. He now smells of good cologne. But his smile, still the same. And sometimes, people come to Agbodo Junction just to see the place where a crippled old man was lifted from the mud and a poor shoemaker became blessed for life. I tell them the story. And I always end with this. Kindness is not about how much you have. It's about how big your heart is, even when your pocket is empty.